being in school, there was just such a separation among girls who were lighter skinned and girls who were darker skinned.
We were the girls who would catch them in the bathroom and fight them for no reason. You know, just because she happened to be born light skinned with pretty hair or pretty eyes. I guess you would say that would be jealousy. And it was really bad because in junior high school, you know, the neat, the nair, for Halloween, some people I knew, wasn't me, threw balls of it in their hair just to take it out. So we were separated, and it caused a lot of friction amongst children, which now as an adult just seems stupid to me.
She can be what you are. You will never be able to be what she is. Thank you, Alicia. Said, wouldn't it be called mixed fishing? Yep. And this is the part that makes mixed girls start to scratch their head and be like, these bitches. You want to cut my hair, grab my head, pull my hair out, tell me I think I'm all that, and then as soon as some mixed person gets something, you want to claim them now. Halle Berry black. Halle Berry got the fuck beat out of her about you nigga bitches when she was young. Halle Berry couldn't walk the street without one of you black hoes grabbing her head or telling her she thinks she better than y'all. Now she black. Vanessa Williams had you bitches going around wanting to fight her when she was a kid. Now she the first black Miss America. Light-skinned bitch can't survive around black hoes when they young, but they black when they get something. They black when they Mariah Carey. Now she's black. Was she black when you was fighting her? Was she black when you was calling her white bitch? Nah, she's just black now. Y'all let that sink in. So while you got a problem with Miss Bad Baby or anybody else, you need to grow up. Because Bad Baby is out blacking you and you are upset about it. Because Bad Baby make being black look better than you make being black look. All them white girls got millions of followers by getting tans and going around doing the same dumb shit you do. Wearing waist trainers and all that shit. Except they get a bigger audience. Except people would rather see them do it than you do it. So yeah, it hurts your feelings, don't it?
Many times a person's history becomes an excuse, a sort of proverbial get out of jail free card on their current behavior. Now, while it might be compassionate to always account for a person's history, to understand how they may respond in a given situation, for example, you may meet someone and they've had a traumatic history in childhood or even in adulthood, and will say, you know what, because this really tough thing happened to me, it's hard for me to make a commitment. So I'm going to be taking this slow, and I hope you understand that. That's a very honest and vulnerable disclosure that somebody can work with. That's very different than a person who chronically invalidates you, verbally abuses you, gaslights you, manipulates you, lies to you, yells at you. And when you finally call them out on that, they'll say, oh God, you got to give me a second chance. You know how it was. I grew up with such a rough dad. No. That's an explanation after the fact, a rationalization of the bad behavior that came first. This is not someone who sat with you and said, hey, you know what? I often have trouble communicating in a relationship because of how I was raised. Please catch me on that because I want to grow. That's not how it happens. When it's used as a rationalization, when their backstory, when their history is conveniently pulled out as an excuse for their bad behavior, This is a great chance for you to gracefully exit in a very compassionate way and say, I'm sorry that happened to them, not my problem. Because that's the key you've got to remember. You're not responsible for their history, and nothing you do can undo that history for them. So many people buy into the fairy tale myth that if I love this person enough, if I'm good enough to them, if I sit here and listen to them the way their parents didn't, then that will clean the slate and all of that bad stuff will go away and they'll fall into the warmth of my love and they'll get it. Kind of not how it goes.
May be what contributed to this fragile core sense of self and their defensive, aggressive posturing, or their difficult father and difficult grandmother may have contributed to an intergenerational cycle. It doesn't excuse their behavior. Or perhaps they're very sensitive to criticism, and that day they got laid off. That explains it. Why their shame got triggered, it doesn't excuse it. The challenge is that many people take the explanations for where narcissistic patterns come from and how they get triggered and turn them into an excuse for bad behavior. In essence, just further enabling and emboldening the narcissist who doesn't really care about the harm that they're causing other than the shame it may evoke from them, which then leads to more bad behavior. You simply can't win when you're dealing with narcissistic and other high conflict personalities. Cognitive dissonance also plays a role here. Basically, when you have an explanation for why the narcissist is doing what they're doing, you're more likely to make a rationalization or justification for their behavior. Oh, they're yelling because their fragile ego was revealed to the world and they were shamed. So they just had to lash out to protect themselves. It's okay. Let's just put up with it. No. There is a danger when you use the explanation as an excuse. And there's also a danger that once you start doing that, you start to gaslight yourself, like, maybe it's okay because they do have a fragile ego. Doesn't matter. It's not okay. The reason I want people to understand this explanation excuse issue is so they can set themselves free.